Hey folks, back here looking at the Bundesliga. So Sorare just announced a partnership with the Bundesliga. They're going to release all of the clubs and players into the market, probably late October they're talking about. So this is kind of some advanced scouting showing you what I'm doing to look at the players that I might target in the market. So the next club, I just did Firth, and the next club is Bochum. So I'm kind of moving up the bottom of the ladder all the way to the top. And what we see here is, first off, quick reminder of kind of how I'm, what I'm looking at in terms of value. So first off is just the transfer market. So looking at the actual market value of the players. And then moving to FIFA Index, which is taking the FIFA game and just kind of showing mostly potential I'm most interested in, but overall it's kind of interesting just to see sort of where the video game itself sort of ranks players and who they think are up-and-comers. And then SofaScore shows a pretty good sense of form, and I sort of compare that form to the actual performance, I suppose, of these players in Sorare. Of course, a lot of these players are not playing in Sorare at the moment, but through Sorare data, we can actually see their game by game performance rating as well. So let's jump into that. Before I do, just a quick one. You can follow me on Twitter now. I finally got back into Twitter land. Sorare Strategy, all one word. And then also below, just two things, two links. So one is there's a link to the spreadsheet that you can just click through and kind of compare and look around yourself. And then the other one is a referral link. So I'm an official referral partner of Sorare. So the only way I kind of get paid is if people click that link and then they go and make purchases and things like that. So I would very much appreciate it. It certainly tells me that my work is all for naught, and that Sorare want to probably keep me on their roster, hopefully. So anyways, if you do that and you make purchases, then I get a very small percentage, but it all of it helps. So thanks so much. Okay, let's get into it. So when we look at Bochum here, so reminder, if you didn't watch the first video, so I got the players' names here. Those that are underlined are cards that you can actually go get right now. So they might have played on a previous club last year or something like that. So, you might look at these guys and want to jump in on them. Sure, it'd be last year's card, so you're maybe not getting the in-season bonus that you get by purchasing this year's card. But still, if you want to kind of potentially get a deal before these cards come on, those are the players you can look at. Same as down here, Poulter. Then we look at age. I tend to skew, I like to look for the sort of under 23s. That's how I've tried to construct my Sorare roster, if you will. But you might be looking more for guys that are in form, maybe 27, 28, 29 years old, things like that. So from a market value point of view, we see a couple sort of bigger ones, I suppose, and they're all they have youth on their side. So what I like about this is that they still have a lot of room to grow in terms of value. So the big one here is Kotchap. He's a U21 national, the only player on the U21 side from Bochum. So and he's, at his age, 19 years old, worth 7.7. So definitely a big star for that club. Probably will get transferred out at some point, and I would imagine will be quite a premium on the Sorare market. These guys are also kind of interesting. They 3.3, 4.4. Their value hasn't changed too much, although Lowen's here has gone down about 25% since the last one. So not sure why. Maybe not getting as much playing time. Hard to say. It's kind of nice to keep an eye on those that have increased quite a bit. So a 50% gain is pretty nice, 114% and 133% also. So these are guys that are starting to see, I'm assuming, some increased playing time. We'll have a look at that. Yeah, 60% here. If we scroll down, just for any that we missed down here, nothing really jumps out at me too much. So if we go to FIFA talent, so, I like to look for guys in the high 70s at least, and likely 80s. Those are a lot better players. Bochum doesn't have any of those. So, the keeper's okay. He's at 74. He's a 33-year-old, so well-seasoned. His potential is 74. So he's where he's at. He is who he is. And what we see here, though, is a guy like Leach, I guess, 72 is okay, and but a potential of 78 is quite nice. And then I don't know why we don't have Kotchap here. I'm gonna have to look that up here. Let's do that right now. How did I miss that one? Oh, I don't know. I wonder if he. Sometimes they don't have, they have them under these players under a different name. There we go, 71 to 85. Okay, well that's an important one. Here you go, real time input here. So this would be one, obviously to target, but again we'll probably go for a bit of a premium. And Lewis Hartwig, now only 18 years old, so long ways to wait to see if he can actually reach this potential. But it's there, and you might be able to get him dirt cheap. If we look at the SOFA score, nothing jumps out too much at me. What I often find is that the scores here don't necessarily match the amount that they've played. So a 6.9 sounds pretty good, but if in terms of Sorare, he's only played 20% of the last 5 games and 13% of the last 15. So this is kind of misleading, I suppose. This one though jumps out. So Simon Zoller, he's a forward. He's 7.4. He's scoring 62 over 5 games and playing 60% of the game. So I'm not sure if he was injured or what have you, but still maybe something to look at here. And then the keeper seems pretty steady, 64 and playing 60% of the game. So, and a 6.9 on SOFA score. So certainly someone, he'll probably go for a bit of a premium as well. So that's sort of what I see. I mean, for me, it's I'd keep an eye on Kotchap if you can afford him. That's probably the star. It's always nice to get a starting keeper, so see if you can get a deal there. Zoller might be okay. I mean, the one thing I noticed was that they've only scored 4 goals this season in total. Yeah, 4, and they've conceded 16. So, I mean, you're not going to get a lot of goals from this side anyways. But, I mean, this is something at least to follow, and you might be able to get him for an okay price. He's 30 years old, so I don't think he's in huge demand. And then there's just a bunch of kind of lower sort of younger guys that maybe up and comers that you might want to kind of roll the dice on if they're nice and cheap. And if you like building a bit of a roster that way, go for that. So there you have it. We'll jump to the next one, which is Arminia, coming up. Thanks for listening.